Hello. Hopefully you are watching this because you are interested in becoming an ASB coordinator for next year. So right now we're starting the process of taking coordinator applications for students who are interested in being part of our ASB program. I'm going to give you a very quick rundown. If you are new to ASB or you're not sure what ASB is, you'll want to watch the whole video. If you have been in ASB for a bit, you could probably fast forward about a minute because I will give the application process scoop next. So ASB is Associated Student Body, and it is the school government. So it's the group of students that run activities and also are in charge of making sure that we are appropriately balancing our budget. So you would be part of that. So ASB coordinators, their big job is really to plan events for the school. So if you fill out a coordinator application, you are also going to tell me what activities you are most interested in planning, and then you'll be placed on a committee. So if you're interested in dances, you might be on the dance committee, or if you're interested in spirit assemblies, you'd be on the spirit assembly committee, and you would choose the things that happen for those events. It would be you and your committee who plans and executes those things. So a lot of times when you see activities, you'll see me there, but really I'm just the student's assistant. So students plan all the things, and then I'm their assistant. I just help to make sure that they get done, and then I am their personal shoppers. I do all the shopping for them. So it's really cool. It's a great opportunity to practice leadership skills, to get involved in student leadership. Even if you can't be in a leadership class, you can still be an ASB, and it's a great opportunity. So that's what ASB does. We have lots of opportunities, lots of positions, lots of committees for you to be part of. If you're somebody that doesn't like to be like so much into the planning of events and activities, we also have technology coordinator positions who are people that like create slides for us and create marketing materials. They do videos. They kind of create the behind the scenes stuff that you all might see at school, but not see the students who are making it. So if you're somebody who's really tech savvy and you like doing work behind the scenes, we have work for that too. You don't have to be just this really loud, extroverted leader. We need people who are willing to do great work behind the scenes in all of our committees, really, not just tech. So ASB coordinators, you plan activities. You meet after school 1 day a week. Usually we meet from 2:30 to 4, sometimes 2:30 to 3:30, but usually till 4. And you do all your planning then, and you work with your team members. If you're planning on participating in sports or clubs next year, as long as you're going to be available for 2 out of the 4 seasons, so roughly half the year, you can still be a coordinator. If you're going to be busy more than that, then it may be really hard for you to kind of jump in and out, but I'm really flexible about allowing students to kind of come in and out of ASB time as it works for them in their schedule. So if you are an athlete or you're in drama, like I don't want you to miss out on those things. So you would just come to ASB either when your coach says you can, or when it works out when you're not in your current sports season or working on the play or whatever it may be. So we'll work that out. So don't think you can't apply. Okay, this application process, really important. 8th grade, this is not for you. You are moving on to the high school. We'll miss you, but you're moving on to bigger, better. This application is for our current 6th graders and our current 7th graders. If you know somebody who's coming in as a 6th grader next year, so they're currently a 5th grader, they'll get to apply in the fall. So 6th grade, we have them apply in the fall, and they start a little bit later than the 7th and 8th graders who will be coming in the fall. So this is for our current 6th graders and our current 7th graders for the 7th and 8th grade positions for next year. The deadline is Friday, May 22nd, and I need all applications in by the end of that day. I won't look at them until probably Saturday, so just make sure that you get your application in by Friday the 22nd, because I will not take late applications. If you're going to be in student leadership, you have to be sure to get your applications in on time. And if you get stuck or you have any challenges, just shoot me an email. I will help you. I'm always here to help. And then on Friday, May 29th, we're going to announce our winners. Or not, I shouldn't say winners. I will announce those of you who are selected. If you are, fill out your application to the best of your ability and you really want to be here and you really want to be part of ASB, we're going to do our best to make sure that happens. So we'll announce who the committees are. So we'll announce all the committees on that Friday, May 29th. And then if you are a 7th grader, you've probably been eagerly awaiting when we are going to tell about how we're going to elect our officers. We're going to hold off on electing officers until fall of next year. And the reason we're doing that is because it's not a very fair process to run a campaign. So if you're going to run for president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, or our communication director position, it's not really fair to run a campaign via online on social media because that doesn't access all of our students. And then to run a vote that way is also unfair. So we're going to hold off and wait until fall because we want to make sure that it is a fair and equitable process and that everybody who might potentially want to be an ASB officer has the opportunity to run for one of those positions. And just to clarify really quickly, the difference between a coordinator and an officer, officers are the ones that run the business meetings and they handle all the budgets and approvals and they balance the money. They do all of that kind of like fine behind the scenes work. And then they also run our formal assemblies. Our coordinators do like more of the fun side of the work. So they still deal a little bit with budgets and stuff within their committee, but for the most part, they're planning the activities and things like that. And our officers also do coordinator work, but their focus is really on creating that kind of executive committee where they're running through and doing all of those approvals. So if you are interested in becoming an officer, you will still have the opportunity. It just will not happen until fall. If you are interested in being an officer, I highly, highly encourage you to run for a coordinator position. We need some strong 8th graders coming in to, do that committee work, and especially those of you that are experienced with ASB. And I highly recommend you to get a coordinator position so that way you make sure you're in ASB no matter what next year. And then if you do decide to run for an office position, you can make that decision in the fall. So yeah, I think that's where we're at. If there's any other questions, you can always, always, always email me and I will get back to you with answers. Otherwise, you want to give yourself a little bit of time to go through the application. It does probably take you maybe like 15 to 20 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, depending on how fast you can type. There are some questions that ask you to dig down a little deeper, so give yourself some time to answer those thoroughly. And then we'll go from there. Also, the application is going to send you a copy of your responses. I want you to make sure that you save that in your email. So you'll get an email that has like all your responses. That way, if something happens and somebody says, well, I applied for a position and I didn't get I didn't get a position or whatever, the technology piece makes me a little nervous. So please make sure that you get an email reply with all of your answers in it and that you save that. So if there's any kind of issue, we can go back and find all your answers and fix it for you. I just want to make sure that this is a completely fair process to the best of our ability. Okay, I think that's it. Coordinators, we need you. Apply. We need all types of students, all interests, all abilities, all skills. So apply. Even if you're like, I don't know if I could do it. Well, you'll never know unless you try. So get those applications in. ASB is awesome. And I know I would love to work with you.